Well, it's definitely been a very complex and multifaceted operation. Remember, this was an intel-driven operation, which means that you needed intelligence from partner forces. Here we have the Iraqis providing some intelligence. You needed airspace movement. Turkey offered that airspace, so did the Russians. And you needed deconfliction. Now, this is an international terror group that you're targeting here. That's targeted Muslims, that's targeted Syrians, that's targeted Iraqis, that's targeted Turks, that's targeted Europeans as well as Americans. So we heard President Trump saying that everyone is against Daesh, that this is a shared common goal. So taking Baghdadi out of the battlefield, decapitating the leadership of Daesh was not only a win for U.S. Special Forces and for U.S. national security interests, but it was a win-win overall for the entire region when we remember the victims, those that al-Baghdadi enslaved, that he killed, that he tortured throughout the region as a so-called caliphate expanded. His caliphate is no more. It's been 100% destroyed. And now al-Baghdadi, perhaps the world's most notorious, bloodthirsty terror leader, has also now been eliminated from the face of the earth.
You're absolutely right. It is a win-win. So is there anything to suggest that relations between Turkey and the U.S. in the future is likely to be any better than it's been in the past?
Well, we heard from President Trump in his extraordinary press conference today that Turkey's cooperation has been important in the war against terror. We've heard from Turkish officials, including the Turkish President Erdogan, saying that cooperation on the counterterrorism front will continue with the United States and with other partners. And that's going to be absolutely crucial. Al-Baghdadi was in Idlib province trying to restart and regenerate his failed caliphate. That was stopped. Now we have to work with allies to prevent remnants of Daesh from trying to rebuild the failed caliphate of al-Baghdadi. This has certainly been a very big week for President Trump. First, the ceasefire in northern Syria, the safe zone, withdrawing some U.S. forces, going to Deir ez-Zor to secure the oil fields. Many said that Daesh is going to resurge. Now, it seems that President Trump has proven his distractors wrong.
Oubai, a former guest, Ahmed Rushdie, mentioned that al-Baghdadi could have gotten assistance from the Kurds to get where he finally died. What is your take on that?
Well, this is a big mystery here. How did al-Baghdadi plot such a complex movement over such a wide, expansive area over Syria? From the eastern Syria, where we suspected al-Baghdadi was holed up, in the Al-Badia, a remote desert on the Iraqi border, all the way to northwest Syria, just 5 kilometers away from the Turkish border. A big mystery, lots of questions. Did the YPG allow him to leave? Did he pay smugglers? Did he go through Assad regime territory? We have seen reports that the YPG have released some senior Daesh prisoners and allowed them to go back into the field. So this is how you have to stop Daesh from regenerating. Al-Baghdadi himself was in a U.S. detention facility, Al-Buqa in Iraq. And we've also seen in the past how al-Baghdadi and his henchmen really focused on breaking Daesh prisoners out, freeing them from 2009 to 2013, releasing them from Baghdad prisons. We've also seen the Assad regime releasing senior extremists in 2012 from Damascus prisons. So perhaps this was also another indication that we have to be just as vigilant, even though the Daesh so-called caliphate has been destroyed and al-Baghdadi eliminated from the field. There may be other agendas at play here that would want Daesh to regroup, to use them for their own political agendas. But for today, at the very least, we can celebrate a victory for humanity. We heard President Trump naming specifically some of the American victims of al-Baghdadi, Kayla Mueller, Peter Kasich, Steve Soloff, and James Foley. But of course, hundreds, if not thousands, of Syrians and Iraqis and Libyans and others have also been victimized by al-Baghdadi. A big day for justice for them as al-Baghdadi met his fate in that tunnel, chased by American canine dogs, and indeed, as President Trump said, ended up dying like a dog himself.
Definitely interesting language from President Trump.